Hey everyone, it's your GAs from the Communication Department. My name is Will and I'm also joined by Haley. And today we're going to be taking you through all of the possible events that you can participate in this upcoming week and more to come soon. Welcome to Austin Peay Weekly. Hi everyone, my name is Will again, and I'm joined with Haley today, and we are here to talk all things campus-wide events. Starting off at the music department, APSU's very own symphony orchestra will be playing next week on Wednesday, February 25th. They'll be playing, of course, in the Marbury Concert Hall, and will be playing from 7:30 p.m. through 9 p.m. Again, these events are free, so if you have the time or interest, please feel free to stop by and watch the orchestra play next Wednesday. Fun fact about APSU's very own orchestra, it was actually started all the way back in 1927. With the way Clarksville's weather is, this music event is sure to make quite a windy arrival. Yeah, I had to do it. APSU's very own Wind Assembly is coming to campus Friday, February 27th from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. And guess where? The Mayberry Concert Hall in the Mass and Comm building. As always, the events are free, so come on by and be a part of the fun next Friday. Expect some things to get kind of brassy as we move into the weekend. This involves the Quarter will be playing this weekend on Sunday, March 1st, and will be playing from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. This event will take place at Marbury Concert Hall, hosted here in the Music and Mass Comm building. This event is being hosted by the Clarksville Community Concert Association, and this event is paid and will range from $5 to $25 for a ticket to watch the performance. Moving into next week, you can expect some saxophone fun here on campus on Thursday, March 5th from 7:30 to 9 p.m. You can find this assembly performance in Mayberry Concert Hall, based here in the Music and Mass Comm building. Entry to this performance is completely free, so if you think you would like to check it out, please feel free to support the music department by getting involved. Speaking of Clarksville weather, how has the weather been for you? I mean, I think you're a native to Clarksville or a regional person in Clarksville. How's the weather been this past week?
It's been kind of weird because just 2 weeks ago we had that snowstorm and ice storm that locked everyone out for almost 2 weeks. And then it was high in the 70s the past couple of days. Today it even feels kind of nice outside, but it has dropped. And then we have a storm coming in this weekend, and then it's just going to go right back to being cold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Tennessean resident or a native, but as someone that has to deal with Kentucky weather, I feel like I get a little taste of Tennessee weather. It's just bipolar. It's picks and choose. Considering we're talking about the music and comm department, I guess they kind of go hand in hand with providing the service of being the communication part of music. Have you ever played an instrument?
I haven't. I tried to play and learn piano when I was younger, but it just takes too much time.
I personally tried guitar. I played it for maybe a handful of years. Listen, if you give me a guitar, like an acoustic guitar, I can form the notes, but I have no clue how to do anything outside of that. But it's just very bare bone knowledge. Because we have talked about, obviously, performances, theater and things, have you ever seen a live theater performance or even like a classical orchestra performance before? No,
I haven't. But APSU Theater and Dance, they're having a play next weekend. So I will be going to that.
Okay. And going off of that, have you ever listened to any type of classical music or even theater music? I know one that's probably the most notorious of all is like the Phantom of the Opera. Even if you're not really, I'm not a theater person personally, but the music, I think that it's just so captivating. Like most music, it just has such this, it really sets the tone of where you are. So you don't even really necessarily have to watch theater. It's more like an aid with the theater. But have you ever listened to any, or do you have any favorites?
I mean, as a dancer, we listen to classical music a lot for ballet. Really, the one thing that I do remember, growing up, was a Beethoven piece that we choreographed, and that was the most fun I've had. But other than that, I could not tell you nothing.
Like the fur, what is it? The Fur Elise? I feel like everyone knows that one. The Fur Elise?
Yeah, I think, something like that.
Air piano over here. Do you know anyone in band, or did you have any interest in band growing up, or what was your kind of connection to music? I mean, I think we all are involved in music in some way, But was there ever a time where maybe you got involved musically with someone, maybe not play a piano, but like just found it natural, like more curious about music?
I think whenever I came to college and like some of my friends were a part of the marching band here is when I started to get curious about it, because I think it's cool that they're like on scholarship in here and it's paying for school and all the things that they do on campus. I didn't realize that all of that went into it on top of practices and everything that they've been doing. So other than that, no, I haven't had an interest, but watching my friends succeed in it is something that is fun. Okay, well, that's all we have for the music events on campus. After this break, I will give you all of the details on campus sports events and more. Oh, yep. Hi, everyone, I'm Haley, and let's take a look at this weekend's and next week's sports events. Starting us out right, we have the Governor's Softball between Prairie View A&M happening today from 11 to 1, so be sure to tune in and catch the later half of the game happening in Huntsville, Texas. They are also set to play Sam Houston from 4 to 6 today for a doubleheader. For Governor's Baseball, the Govs are set to play Eastern Michigan this afternoon at 2 p.m., and that game is being played right here in Clarksville, Tennessee. Be sure to tune into the game via accessing the link found in the description, watch it live, and support the Govs baseball team. So be sure to show your support for them through social media and online. Softball played a pre-header game versus Houston Christian today from 11 to 1. So be sure to check out any stat updates to stay informed on all things softball. Now we're going to head into beach volleyball. The Governor's Beach Volleyball are coming head-to-head in Cincinnati, Ohio this weekend on Saturday, February 21st from 9 to 11 a.m. Later in the weekend, the Govs are set to play in Cincinnati, Ohio from 1 to 3 on Saturday, February 21st versus Liberty. Moving deeper into the week, we have the Govs versus South Carolina in Columbia, South Carolina from 10 to 12 on Friday the 28th. Growing up, did you ever see yourself playing any type of sport?
I'm not gonna lie. I think there's a part of me that genuinely does kind of envy younger me a little bit. I would not consider myself athletic. I always considered myself someone that, I kept up with myself, and I do work out occasionally and whatnot. But when I was younger, I played t-ball, I played soccer. I was a lot more involved in things. Whereas I got kind of later into middle school, I grew up playing video games, so that kind of took priority, at least for me. But I do recall like my mom just being like, hey, you're gonna have to do something. Something. So I ended up picking archery. I did archery for 3 years, and and it's weird. It's one of those things, it's like a skill that I think transcends the sport in the sense that there's every now and then when it's not too windy or anything, you just kind of stop and go, I'm just gonna go shoot a target. Why not? And it's just fun to do. And what's great about that is that I kind of picked up a minor hobby, not a full hobby. We're not fully committing to it, but darts. Don't know how, don't know why.
But it's kind of similar.
Yeah, but you would think that. But then,
is it not?
Well, kind of, but you have to use when you shoot a bow and arrow, it's recommended. Well, recommended is highly debatable. You need to close your dominant eye so that you can see clearly on the target. But for me, at least the way I've always shot with archery, I've always had to, if this is like the target here, I'd always have to aim to the right and then down in order to hit it in the middle. And that's a weird process. It's like, how do you explain that to someone that that's your way of training your eye to hit the middle of a target?
Yeah.
And some of that does bring over and does carry over with darts, but not really, because it's a different motion. Whereas if you're locking an arrow and you're pulling it back, obviously you have to extend your arm and whatnot. Whereas with darts, you're holding it kind of like you're holding it like a dart to throw it. But yeah, I would say that's kind of my general feelings on that.
Yeah, and so other than archery, what is your favorite sport to watch, or what do you get into?
See, I think people aren't going to like my answer. There's something simple. Okay, I'll put it this way. If you need, if you're a dopamine fiend and you need the constant yelling and you need the constant scoring, I would probably say football. I think that's a pretty stereotypical answer. Yeah. Or maybe basketball, because it's just it's a high dynamic sport. Whereas for me, there's something simple about baseball. It is a simple sport. Well, minus the umpires, or the umps, I believe it is. But it's simple. You have a basic premise, you have a basic concept, but somehow, at least for me, it's kind of like hockey. Hockey can be engaging and it can be action-packed, but it kind of comes in small intervals. So I don't know, I almost use it, and this is poor of me, I almost use it like because I know that obviously our like, what is it, our attention spans are weakening. So if you want to test your attention span, you watch a baseball game, because sometimes, and maybe even a hockey game, because you have intervals where there's so much action, and there's some intervals where it's just basically like NASCAR but on ice, and they're just going round and round and round, and nothing really happens.
Yeah.
But that's just my feelings on that.
No, I agree. I like baseball because, like, if you go and watch it like in person, so much more fun than if you're at home on the TV. Like me personally, I'd rather watch basketball on TV because it's easier to track because the camera does it for you. You don't have to do it in person.
Right.
So that's what I do.
When it comes to, and I guess I'll just ask you, were there any sports when you were playing as a kid that you looked at and said, oh, you know what, maybe I'll give this a try, especially when you were younger?
I did try softball. But I absolutely hated the dirt. So Mom,
understandable reaction.
Mom put me in dance. And so I grew up dancing, and like some people don't classify it as a sport, but I do. And I trained almost 30 hours a week since I was 7 all the way till 18 to compete for a plastic trophy.
Right.
So no.
Did you start as, I'm sorry, was it dance specifically, or is it, because I know a lot of people that start at cheer and then they translate to tumble and then they translate to dance.
No, I started with dance. So I started in rec for 2 years, or for a year, and then I just knew I could pick up on choreography fast. So they were like, try the comp team. And so we learned 3 dances over the summer, and then we went and competed, and then that's what I've been doing ever since.
Hey, some people have it like that. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I just look at there's something admirable about sports, but it's one of those things where I feel like I enjoy it further from afar than doing it myself, maybe. But let's go ahead and we actually are going to pitch it back to you because we have some more sports news for you.
Okay. Well, moving into men's and women's tennis, the men's tennis team is set to play against North Alabama today from 2 to 5 in Florence, Alabama. Moving to women's tennis, they are set to play against Furman today from 5 to 8 p.m. and they are playing in Greenville, South Carolina. So be sure to show their support for the Govs on their social media by staying up to date with all the local games. And then the women's tennis team continues at Appalachian State on Saturday, February 21st from 10 to 1. They are playing in Boone, North Carolina. And then they head to Woodford on Sunday, February 22nd from 10 to 1, and they are playing in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Moving into women's lacrosse, the Govs are set to play against Presbyterian on February 22nd from 11 to 2, and they will be playing in Clinton, South Carolina. So be sure to show your support for them online and through their social media. Heading into basketball, we have 2 games coming up on February 21st. Up first, we have the men's basketball going against Jacksonville from 6 to 8, based out of Jacksonville, Florida. After that, we have the women's team who will be playing Friday from 2 to 4, and they will be playing right here in Clarksville at F&M Arena. Later in the week, women's basketball will be playing on February 25th at night. It is a night game, and that's going to be played here at F&M Bank Arena in Clarksville, going head-to-head against Eastern Kentucky. Have you ever played golf, or have you ever just like went to the course and just to have fun?
I listen. I have a stepdad who likes to golf. Okay, I do. And there was a time where I tried it. I tried, and that's all one can do. I tried. I'm not good at it. And not only am I not good at it, it's even worse because I'm not good at it and I don't like it. So now I just seem like a sore loser because I don't like it. But I could be wrong on this. I believe golf started in Scotland or something. Probably. It's not American. But it came over, obviously, through the many years in which it was played. But I just don't get it. And I
don't get it either.
I try really hard to be like, okay, you know what? It's a sport. Sure, there's a great number of support. There's a lot of love about it. There's some passionate. Sure, we'll let it slide. But then people push it too far. Because it's like so let me just straight. You get a stick, and you take the stick, and you hit the stick against something, and then you kick it down a field, and that's the game. Okay.
And you have to do
sure.
You have to do it in like the least amount of hits.
Right. And I just don't know. And it's not for me, and that's okay. I'm content with some things not being for everyone, but I don't know. It's just not something I think I would ever play myself.
So do you go to like putt-putt golf, like mini golf?
I went to Nashville and I did the Top Golf course. And
Golf, yeah.
That was a couple of years ago. And I enjoyed it. I wasn't good at it, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. I think it's one of those things where you have, and this is just with any sport, I think you have more fun when you have people around you that you're playing with or you're playing against, or then you have that sort of that competitiveness and that banter that comes with it. But it's just not for me. It's not for me. I can't help it. But I would ask you, in between tennis, lacrosse, and basketball, which is more fun to watch? I feel like there's an obvious answer, but I feel the need to ask for fairness. I'm
actually, if you would have asked me this like a month ago, it would have been basketball. But here recently, it is lacrosse.
Really?
Yes. Because Austin Peay just got the new women's lacrosse team, and I streamed their game online. Like, I watched it a little bit, and I was like, this is actually very interesting. What are the rules? How does it work? Because that's not a thing down here.
Right.
It's like a up north sport. So I was like, what is this? And so after talking with some of the players, I got a little bit better of an understanding of what's going on. But I would say lacrosse for sure right now.
Okay. And then one thing I will quickly ask is, if you had to describe the closest sport that mirrors lacrosse, what would that be?
The way that I tried to explain it was, or they tried to explain it to me, is it's hockey, soccer, and rugby all in one sport.
Well, that is a combination and a half.
It's a very physical sport from what I understood. From what I've seen, it's very physical. So like it has some aspects of rugby with forward passes, and then hockey because of the stick, and then soccer because of the goal that they use.
Well, today from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., the Gamma Delta sorority will be handwriting notes to send to veterans and people recovering from a stroke. If you would like to assist them, they are in MUC room 305 at the Morgan University Center. They highlighted that their mission with this event was to inspire, to allow being creative, and being able to spread that with others. The Gamma Delta sorority had said, quote, "It's a simple, meaningful way to spread encouragement and remind people that they're supported and appreciated." If you have the time, please feel free to stop by and assist the sorority with making those notes for those in need and those who you wish to show your own appreciation. APSU's very own Pickleball Club has announced that they will be having an open play session at the Foy Center. This event will take place indoor court A, and the session will span from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. If you're interested in getting into the sport of pickleball, or even if you have a little interest in the sport, please feel free to swing on by and see what pickleball is all about. In terms of pickleball, why do you think it's become so popularized in the United States? And I guess that's not really a great question to start with, but what is pickleball? Like, do you like?
It's like tennis and what is that called? Ping pong in one.
Okay.
Because it's tennis because you're on the court, but it's ping pong because it's smaller. Like, you're not running everywhere, and there's like boxes you have to hit it in, and you have to hit it over the net, and you have a partner.
Interesting.
Or you can play it by yourself, but I highly recommend playing in like pairs.
Yeah,
I think it's gotten so popular, at least here, because of TikTok. I've been seeing a lot of like the creators like do it like with their husbands or their wives or their sisters and brothers and cousins, and it's become like a big thing. But here recently, I think it's starting to die back down. Like, I haven't heard really many people talk about pickleball a lot.
So it is a TikTok trend spawned, not really a TikTok spawned sport, but it's become more popularized through social media's usage of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's fairly interesting. But do you know what? I guess I already asked that. But what do you know? What pickleball is? Like, obviously, it's a hybrid of multiple sports. With that in mind, do you feel like it has its own? Do you think it has its own identity of its own, or do you think it's just three sports thrown together?
I think it's just three sports thrown together. I never heard it until like a couple of years ago. I had no idea what it is. I still don't know what it is, honestly. It just
spawned out of nowhere.
Yeah, it spawned out of nowhere, and I just go and play sometimes with my friends. I mean, we haven't been like since we got back to school, like in the fall, but other than that.
Well, I guess this is a good question to ask off the back of heels of that then, because if you take social media out of the equation, social media no longer exists, which would probably be better for everyone, but let's pretend that that's the case. Do you think pickleball would stand on its own without the assistance of social media, or do you think it's a sport that's maybe not natively, in the United States and has kind of transferred through popularity through social media? Do you think that if that was not a play at all, there was no social media, no nothing, that could be on par with tennis or other sports of that caliber?
I'm gonna be so for real no.
Okay.
Because most people had no idea what it was until couple years ago.
Right.
And so I think social media plays a big part in a lot of things people do, like the way they dress, they do their makeup, they do their hair, what shoes they buy, what kind of clothes they wear. Like, I just think social media has started standardizing things. And so I think that's the instance with pickleball as well.
Okay.
For this Black History Month, APSU is hosting a Melanin Magic Award ceremony. This will take place at the MUC Center tonight. This event will last from 5 to 8 p.m. and the host has said, quote, "Dress to impress at our 3rd annual Night of Melanin Magic Awards ceremony and gala. Join us as we celebrate student and staff alike on their accomplishments this past academic year. All are welcome, registration is required," end quote. This weekend, you can expect some truly out-of-this-world fun with APSU Observatory Night based out on APSU Farm on Saturday, February 21st from 5:45 to 7:15. You can truly lose yourself in the stars of the night with this night event. The organizers for this have said, APSU's public observatory nights are a must-attend for astronomy enthusiasts of all ages, allowing visitors to immerse themselves in the wonders of the universe and explore objects through their state-of-the-art telescopes. Whether you're a seasoned stargazer or just curious about the cosmos, this event offers a unique opportunity to witness the beauty of the night sky, end quote. Are you into astronomy or astrology?
Okay, I'll put it this way. When I was in middle school, high school, probably even early college, I think science is awesome. I don't care if people are going to say, "Oh, it's too this, it's too that." Science is magic. Before science became science, all of the things that we become associated so much so with like chemical reactions, basic things, basic science fair projects, they're all chemical reactions. It's all science. And obviously there's different branches of science. Now that said, in terms of astrology, I think everyone has their thing. They have a right to their thing. Do what you gotta do. I do not indulge. Now, astronomy, the study of the stars, I think that's probably awesome. Now, I don't know anything about it. There's no like, if you dig through my backpack like it's a TSA agent, you're not gonna find an astronomy book on the stars or anything like that. But do I think it's interesting? I think it is. I think it sets the scale of life. It sets the scale of, okay, we are nothing. The Earth is so big, and then you have all these other planets that surround our solar system and make up those things, and even stars. All of those are science. All of it is. So in that instance, I am interested in that. In terms of astrology, not so much.
You don't care about your sign?
No.
I know some people that like use it to like break up with their boyfriends and stuff like that, and it's so funny.
That's where people lose me. People lose me. Listen, everyone has a thing. My thing with that though is the minute you start going, "Oh, I know exactly everything about you," because I know you were born in, for instance, for me, March. It's like, so you have my entire life panned out. You're gonna take the little flower, you're gonna blow it, and there's my life. That's what you're telling me? I don't think so. I'm sorry, I don't think so. Again, everyone has a thing, and it's all respectable. But to kind of pitch off of that, I guess we kind of answered it earlier, but do you think that because you asked me, do you think stars and moons are interesting, and what kind of, what part of science involving that is interesting to you, if it is?
So I used to be a big nerd.
Okay.
In middle school, whenever we had the planetary section of science class, and I would like deep dive everywhere I could to learn like more information about stars, because I learned that like the sun is a dying star.
Right.
Not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, just looking into that, and then like moons and how each planet has a different number of moons, and if they have moons it causes the tides I don't know. And
like the gravitational pulls of everything.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I don't think that you should be discounted for that at all. I think that's it. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where it doesn't set your life. I think that's a bit over dramatic.
Yeah.
But understanding or even knowing a little bit about why, I'm the type of person where when I understand the why of something, I love it. I love it because it's enough for you to look at something differently. I recently kind of dabbled in like electronics, understanding why everything does what it does, and then you get into the nitty gritty of like, oh, a CPU, like put a CPU, or which is a computer part for those that are not technologically savvy. That's okay. It's hundreds of small microcontrollers.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. And you sit there and ask yourself, well, how do we do it? Who did this? Who started this? Who thought, you know what, let's do this. This is how we're going to do it. It's just incredible. All of it is to me. That said, I believe we have a final section, but this Sunday, you can actually expect some messy popcorn from the Sigma Gamma Rho sorority. They are throwing a movie night with a screening of, we're going to put in air quotes here, soul food, because it is a movie. Food will be included from your $8 ticket for entry into room 120, and this will be at the Clement building. This event will run from 6:20 p.m. to 9 p.m. And Sigma Gamma Rho said, quote, "The ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority, Inc. invite you to join us for a royal, RHOYAL, bites and reels. Enjoy a delicious meal and a viewing of Soul Food," it's a movie. "We look forward to seeing you," end quote. Thank you all so much for letting us be a part of your time and schedule today. If you're interested in any of the events we have mentioned today, be sure to check out the links for all of those events talked about today in the description.
And with that, we will see you on March 6th for the next edition of Govs Weekly.